opt out of if you want to, but I think we'll do it. But Fort Phil Kearny is a fort that was built here in Wyoming as a result of the Treaty of 1851. Now, what are we forgetting? What do the Indians want? You know what they want? I want you to think about this. You know what we gave them in return for those two things? We promised them $50,000 a year for 50 years. That's what we said we'd give them if they guaranteed us free passage and the ability to build forts. $50,000 a year for 50 years. Well, 1851 and 50 is 1901. Obviously, we had a battle at the Little Bighorn. We had some Indian wars in 1876. So we're not.
Broke their treaty?
Well, no. It's kind of a mixed match. That's a good. That's awesome. Let me kind of give you a prelude. It worked pretty well for a while. But what happened is after the Civil War, when a lot of people's lives were in the crappers, frankly, they had nothing. What was their best opportunity? Go west. And all of a sudden it was okay for the Indians when just a few people were coming across, but all of a sudden after the Civil War, thousands of people moved and they trampled this way of life, and radical chiefs like Crazy Horse, okay, Sitting Bull, said no more, and they started kind of breaking the treaty by attacking, and it leads to what we are going to know as the campaign of 1876, that we're going to put every Indian tribe we can on the reservation by force if they won't go by themselves, which leads to the Battle of the Bighorn and other things. Yeah.
So if they're giving 50,000, they're just going to divide it among the tribes?
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep. It was divided among the tribes. And then not all the tribes, once the Civil War ended and they started moving in thousands, not all the tribes it bothered, but it bothered the most important ones, the Sioux, because that's where most of the trails were going through, and that's where Sitting Bull and Crazy Horse stand up and do some things they shouldn't, and then the military responds by getting their hackles up, and they form what we know as the campaign of 1876, where the military said to the Indians, you go on reservations peacefully, or we'll put you there by force. Kind of like the Trail of Tears. The only difference was the Indians didn't respond the same as they did in the Trail of Tears. They reacted and fought back. So we'll talk about all that. Well, continuing and finishing this up. Well, I guess I already did that. Listen to this, huh? Okay, in return the Indians, okay, out of these conversations came the Treaty of Fort Laramie, in which the federal government agreed to pay $50,000 to the Indians each year for 50 years. In return, the Indians guaranteed the safety of all settlers moving west and the right of the government to build forts along the western trails. This agreement worked very well until after the Civil War, when hundreds of thousands of settlers moved west after their hope of life ended after that conflict. The Indian philosophy of westward travel by settlers changed dramatically, leading to what we know in American history as the Indian Wars, or Campaign of 1876. All right, well, thank you again to Andrew. What we'll do tomorrow is you'll have a review sheet tomorrow. If you're not going to be here tomorrow for drama, it'd be good to pick one up before you leave class today. Okay, fill it out, and we are going to have a test on